So welcome back to Roof Structures. On today's tutorials, I'll be teaching you how to design a cantilever retaining wall using Tekla Tedds. Right? So in my version of Tekla Tedds, it's 2019. Whatever version you're using, this tutorial would help you to design cantilever retaining walls. Alright, so once you open your Tekla Tedds, you're going to have this drop down menu. So you can click on Tedds, give it a bit while it loads. Alright, so we're going to come to new, and you can click on new document. I give it time to load, and you have this. So before we begin, I have to let you know that Tekla Tedds, it's not like every other design software which you know. It's not like Prota Structure, it's not like Cryon. It's just a software that focuses mainly on engineering calculations and verifications. It's not a drafting software. Okay? It's just used to perform calculations and generate automated design reports. Okay? So with this drop down menu now, under the table here, you realize that with Tekla Tedds, you can create design reports and design beams, columns, composite structures, drainage, earthworks, floors, foundations, highways, and a lot of other things. Okay? But in today's video, we'll be using this Tekla Tedds to design reinforced concrete cantilever wall. And we are going to have to understand the key checks involved, including sliding, overturning, bearing pressure, and also the reinforcements design. Alright, so before we get into the calculations, let me just give you a brief introduction as to what retaining walls are. So you have the drawing of the cantilever retaining wall. If you notice from the diagram in front of you, you have a toe slab, you have a heel slab, and you have the stem. The stem is the part that retains the earth. Alright, you also have the direction of the retained earth. So this is the direction of the retained earth, and if you notice, in the direction of the retained earth, so you have the heel, and the side that you don't have the retained earth is where you have the toe. Alright, please don't mix this up. You should also note that the retaining structure is required to provide lateral support to the soil mass behind it. If the wall is designed for pressure, it will not be economical since the coefficient of active pressure is less than the coefficient of earth pressure. Alright, so basically these are just things you need to have in mind when you are designing a retaining wall. Alright, so this wall is going to be acted upon by both active and passive pressures. Okay, and also the tendency of the backfill is to push the retaining wall away from it such that the saw stretches horizontally. And also we have a case where you have an overturning of your cantilever, and also a case where there is a retaining wall failure. Alright, let's get right into it. So you're going to come to concrete, scroll down, you're going to come to retaining wall analysis and design to Eurocode, that's EN 1992. Click it. We want to design a cantilever retaining wall, so just click on that and double click on it. So once that is up, you can see the sketch of your retaining wall. Right, so the first thing you're going to come is your retaining wall details. The geometry of retaining wall is quite important, so we're going to click on geometry. Okay, in my case, my retained height is 2 meters, that's 2000 mm. My cover, that is from my ground level into the ground, like to the base of my retaining wall, I'm going to be having 1000. Okay, once you include that, you realize that your stem height automatically changes. So your retained height plus cover is your stem height. All right, so my excavation, I'm going to put that as 0. Okay, so for this design, I'm going to be using a stem type. This is the height, 3 meters. I already told you how to have that. So for the thickness, I'm going to be trying a 250 mm thick stem. Once you do that, you see it changes. So for my base, I'm going to retain my toe length of 1000 and heel length of 1000, but my base thickness, I'm going to change that to 300. Okay, stem type is cantilever. Remember, that's what we are designing for. All right, so once you're done with that, you click OK. Let's give it a little time so that it's updated. So if we check my stability preview results, realize that we are safe. Okay, so for sliding stability, we have a capacity of 105.5 kilonewtons per meter, but they applied the 64.3. Overturning stability, same thing, 188.8, and I applied this 83.8. So you can see that we are safe. Okay, with this, I could simply just go to my geometry and just reduce some things. I can change this to 800 and also change this to 800 and click OK and see if that works. It works, but now you see a warning. It's telling you that the reaction acts outside middle third of base. This has something to do with stability. Okay, it's an overturning stability problem. So what we have to do is we have to increase the length of our base. So we can just keep that as 1000, keep this as 1000. Okay, as we did before. Once you're done with that, realize that that error warning is out. So after the geometry, next thing we're going to check is our saw details. Click on saw details. I have a bearing capacity for my design, but then if you don't have a bearing capacity, you can allow the software to calculate net ultimate bearing capacity. But in my case, I have a bearing capacity, so I'll untick that, come to my presumed bearing capacity and change it to 150, because that's the bearing capacity I'm working with. Also for my return saw details, mine is granular, it's medium dense and well graded sand. But if yours is cohesive, you can click on that and change to cohesive. And what type, if it's soft, firm, hard, or it's clay, or silted sand or sanded clay. Mine is granular, so I leave it at granular. Same as base saw details. So just depending on what your saw report gives you. Me, I'm fine with this because this relates with my saw report. So I click OK and give it a bit of time. Okay, so you realize that my stability preview results, we are still in the safe. We are above 1, so we are very much safe. So we come to loading. Next things come to loading. So surcharge is easily the weight of soil. Okay, so for a permanent surcharge load, if there's anything coming on top of the soil, this is where you're going to add your loading. So permanent surcharge is if you're going to have like something on the soil forever. Okay, so you can put 3 depending on your loading. For my variable surcharge load, I'm going to be using 5 because my return earth would not be for vehicular activities. If it were for vehicular activities, I could leave that as 10. Okay, but since it's just humans, the live load is human, so my variable surcharge can be 5. So I click OK. Alright, so once I'm done with that, I see that my stability preview results, I'm okay. Can come to next. Okay, so this way we are going to be setting our reinforcements. All right, so for my stem construction, it's a reinforced concrete. If yours is unreinforced masonry or hollow reinforced masonry, you can pick that, but mine is reinforced concrete. My concrete class, I'll be using grade 2025. So click that, and here I'll be using my use strength is 410. So also cover to reinforcement, my case I'll be using 50 all through, except for the bottom, which I'll be using 75. All right, so I want it to also check for crack. All right, so I can keep this. So my limiting crack width, it's 0.3 mm. All right, so the duration of my load is long term, so that's it. Kicker, you just click OK. All right, so for my stem front face reinforcement at +0 this is around the kicker here. This is the front face. You notice there's no reinforcement here, that's why it's 0 here for diameter. But then if I change this, if you notice, it said mean maximum crack width is 0.459, which exceeds the limit which we are set here in our concrete details, which was 0.3. okay, so now if I change this to Y10, okay, Y10 at 200, you realize that it doesn't really need reinforcement, but we are still going to provide reinforcement because of the crack control. So Y10 at 200 works. For the stem rear face, okay, it's providing Y12 at 200, but you notice saying that the maximum crack width exceeds this. So what we're going to do now, we're going to change the spacing to 150 and see if that works. Okay, Y12 at 200 doesn't work, so we have to increase it to Y16. So Y16 at 200, let me try that. Right, so Y16 at 200 works. Right, but now if you notice, they have a span depth ratio problem. Okay, we have a design, that's what we have, which is 15.6, and our limit is 11.1. So span depth ratio is more like a deflection problem. So once you see this, this tells you that the width of your retaining wall is rather little. So what you can do now is we'll go back again, come to geometry, and we'll change thickness of our stem to 300. Click OK. Once that is done loading, go to next. Right, so now you notice that we are okay. Even the shear resistance is okay. All right, so in this case we can try something else. Since we have increased the thickness of our stem, we can try Y12 at 200 and see if it works. So it doesn't work. We change this to 150. So now that we've increased the thickness, see that Y12 at 150 works perfectly. Right, so next thing we're going to check for design sections is the base. So for base, for the main bars, the base top face reinforcement and the base bottom face reinforcement, we're going to be providing Y12 at 200, Y12 at 200. So top and bottom for our base, you notice top and bottom. So we can also check for transverse reinforcement. Okay, so Y10 at 200 works, Y10 at 200 works, which is perfect. Once you're done with that, you can click on finish. Since everything works and passes perfectly, click on finish and allow the software to generate the report. So if you notice, we are done. So you can see the analysis summary as sliding stability has passed because the capacity is 100.5 kilonewtons per meter and we applied 49.5, so we are safe. How to get this value of 2.023 factor of safety is to divide the capacity by the applied. That's how you get the factor of safety, and it should be above 1. Okay, so if the applied is higher than your capacity, that means there's a problem, you have to redesign. Okay, after that we have a design summary. You have reinforcements, flexural reinforcement, shear reinforcement at the rear face, the top face, bottom. So you notice that what we have provided is more than the required, so we have a pass for result. So we can see every data we used, all right, and the design of our retaining wall. So you have an overturning check, pass. So everything works perfectly. You can also your bending moment. This diagram is for your bending moment. This for your shear force, and also these are loading details. All right. So that's basically it for the design of retaining wall using Tekla Tedds. Hope you learned something new. If it's the first time joining us, please do well to subscribe to our YouTube channel. This is the best way you can encourage us, and also like the video and drop a comment on reviews, anything you want us to change, and also possible videos you would want us to do. Thank you. See you on the next one.